Diddy was allegedly offered a plea deal to testify against JayZ, and rumors are swirling that JayZ is worried he might be called to testify in the upcoming trial. As more layers of this case are revealed, JayZ's name continues to surface, indicating that Diddy wasn't working alone. This points to a far more powerful mastermind behind Diddy's alleged criminal activities. JayZ is reportedly preparing to turn on Diddy in order to protect his billion-dollar empire. If JayZ falls, Beyoncé is rumored to be implicated as well. While the details of the plea deal remain under wraps, sources close to the case suggest that it involved Diddy acknowledging crimes connected to JayZ. Allegedly, JayZ himself advised Diddy to reject the deal, with the feds pushing Diddy to cooperate by naming other members of his criminal network. However, Diddy refused, knowing that cooperating could make him a target in prison, as rats don't survive there.
The last hearing before Sean Combs' trial starts. When he walked into federal court today, he appeared to be looking for his family. They've pretty much been at all of the hearings that I've been to, but there was no presence of his sons or his mother or his sister who had previously been at those hearings. So here's what came out of today's hearing. Number one, the government acknowledged that they offered Combs a plea deal. Combs acknowledged he has no interest in taking that. They're going to move forward with the trial. They also talked about the jury selection process, which one legal expert I spoke to said is probably the most important thing that you want to pay close attention to before the actual trial starts. And thirdly, we learned that Combs will be adding 2 new attorneys to his defense team. And just to recap, Combs, who is 55 years old, could spend the rest of his life behind bars if convicted on sex trafficking and racketeering. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges.
Major developments tonight involving the case against Sean Diddy Combs, what he decided in court today, and what this now means, the move coming just 4 days before his trial is set to begin. Here's Aaron Katursky.
Tonight, Sean Combs makes it official. He's rejecting the government's offer to plead guilty and spare himself the possibility of a prolonged term in prison. When asked if he turned down the offer, Combs answered, "Yes, I do, Your Honor," as he stood in a baggy beige jail uniform. Terms were not disclosed, but prosecutors did say a plea could result in a shorter sentence for Combs than if he's convicted. The decision guarantees Combs will face trial beginning just 4 days from now that will test whether one of music's most prolific figures used his power, wealth, and fame to sexually exploit both women and men for decades. Combs has pleaded not guilty to racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution charges that accused him of coercing alleged victims into prolonged drug-fueled sexual activity that he called freak-offs and threatening them into silence.
This isn't the first time Diddy and JayZ have faced serious allegations. Both have a history of controversy, with past accusations of intimidation and violence against those who challenge them. In December 1999, JayZ pleaded guilty to third-degree assault after stabbing record executive Lance Rivera. That same year, Diddy was involved in a nightclub shooting that drew major media attention. These incidents have led some to view JayZ as violent and dangerous.
A top rap star is busted.
JayZ turned himself in tonight, and the cops started working on his rap sheet, accusing him of a stabbing at a trendy party.
Kimberly Richardson is at Midtown South right now. Kimberly.
Well, Rosanna, just a few hours ago, police here at Midtown South arrested Sean Carter, better known as JayZ. The rap star voluntarily turned himself in here at the precinct earlier this evening. Now, Carter is being held here in connection with that stabbing fight that erupted at the Kit Kat Club last night. But just a few moments ago, Carter's attorney had this to say.
He's not involved in this, period.
He was at the club?
That's my only comment. He wasn't involved in this.
So it was someone else that did the stabbing and the hitting?
I didn't say that. I said he was not involved in it.
Now, Slovis goes on to say that at no time was JayZ hiding from the police, that they were in touch with cops all day and that they're trying to resolve this as gentlemen. But as Mike Sheehan shows us, others say they've seen the dark side of JayZ.
I have my faults. You know, I'm not a perfect person.
A few months ago, both Diddy and JayZ were named as defendants in a lawsuit. The woman who filed the case later withdrew it, allegedly after being threatened by JayZ. Shortly after JayZ made a public statement about the case, Diddy was released from jail, reportedly due to a medical emergency. While at the hospital, Diddy is said to have made several phone calls, and just a week later, the lawsuit was dropped.
And a new twist in a high-profile lawsuit accuses rapper JayZ of raping a 13-year-old girl in 2000 alongside Sean Diddy Combs. The lawsuit, originally filed in October, was refiled today to include JayZ as a defendant. The anonymous accuser claims the assault occurred at an MTV Video Music Awards after-party. JayZ has denied the allegations in a statement on Roc Nation's Instagram, calling the accusations heinous and urging a criminal complaint be filed instead of a civil one. He also criticized the attorney behind the lawsuit, Tony Busby, accusing him of exploiting the case for personal gain.
Just weeks before the upcoming trial, JayZ and Beyoncé were named in yet another civil lawsuit linked to Diddy. Filed in Florida on April 1st, the case involves plaintiff Joseph Manzaro, who alleges that in 2015 he was drugged, transported against his will, and sexually assaulted as part of what he describes as a coercive and organized criminal enterprise. According to the lawsuit, this operation was facilitated by Diddy and others. Manzaro also claims that JayZ and Beyoncé were present at a so-called freak-off party where the abuse allegedly took place. This isn't the first time JayZ's name has surfaced in connection to Diddy, and it likely won't be the last.
Sean Diddy Combs is facing new accusations of human trafficking as he awaits his federal trial. In a civil case filed in Florida April 1st, Joseph Manzaro alleges, according to court documents obtained by E! News, that he was drugged, transported against his will, and sexually maimed as a victim of a coercive and organized criminal enterprise facilitated by Combs and others back in 2015, and names celebs such as Beyoncé, JayZ, and LeBron James as witnesses in the lawsuit. In his filing, Manzaro says the alleged events took place in April 2015. He states that he lost consciousness after feeling a, quote, greasy substance resembling Vaseline as he opened the front door to his home, after which he says he was transported to another residence, where an associate of Combs allegedly told him that the music mogul wanted him brought to a freak-off event. Manzaro alleges in the suit he was secretly transferred to the music producer's home through a concealed tunnel allegedly connected to Gloria Estefan and Emilio Estefan's Miami property. He alleges that upon regaining partial consciousness, he found himself inside a large party area upon information and belief that it was a birthday party for Combs' then 17-year-old son Christian Combs. There, he was allegedly forced to appear in a penis mask. The lawsuit states, JayZ and Beyoncé Knowles Carter were seated in the room, and upon seeing Manzaro, Beyoncé Knowles Carter asked, "What's this? What's this all about? Why is this half-naked white man with a penis mask standing here in front of me?" Manzaro alleges in the lawsuit that he was then forcibly paraded through multiple rooms filled with people who were jeering and taunting him.
High-profile individuals, including Jacob Arabo, JayZ, Gloria Estefan, LeBron James, and Beyoncé Knowles Carter, are identified as witnesses due to their presence or knowledge of the events surrounding the freak-off orchestrated by defendant Diddy. Wow. And freak-off, of course, is something that we've heard many times before, both in Combs' criminal case and other civil cases, to describe these prolonged sexual episodes, usually with sex workers. But Manzaro is suing Sean Combs. He is suing a man named Eric Mejias. He is suing Brendan Paul, who's been described in another lawsuit as Sean Combs' drug mule, Emilio Estefan, who is married to pop superstar Gloria Estefan, and Adria English, who filed her own lawsuit against Sean Combs, claiming she too was a victim of sex trafficking. By the way, it's interesting he's not suing these other celebrities that I mentioned, like JayZ and Beyoncé and Gloria Estefan, possibly because he doesn't believe their alleged liability amounted to a civil claim, but seems to want to call them as witnesses at a trial, although I have to imagine they will do everything in their power to quash any subpoena should this case progress, and we'll talk a little bit more about whether or not it will.
JayZ has responded to the allegations and, as you might expect, denied them.
That alleged freak-off reportedly happened in 2015 at both Gloria and husband Emilio Estefan's Miami mansion and Diddy's.
The rhythm is gonna get you.
That's where a new accuser claims he was sexually assaulted and humiliated by Diddy. And he says Beyoncé, JayZ, and Gloria all witnessed his abuse, but allegedly did nothing.
Yeah, let's skip over that.
Okay, I don't like it at all.
Gloria and Emilio denying the claims, telling ET there were no parties thrown at that property between 2012 and 2019. The couple says they have documents to back their denial and will provide them in court if necessary.
I could not believe what I was hearing. God.
As for JayZ,
You having girl problems, I forgot for you, son.
his rep tells ET he wasn't in Florida at that time to witness this incident. He was engaged in easily findable public activities that prove he was not at this event, adding, "This is more nonsense that erodes the trust in our justice system."
A lot of times people say things because they don't want to get themselves in a PR disaster. They can't be, write a check.
The new claims come months after a woman dropped a lawsuit against JayZ alleging he raped her 15 years ago.
Diddy and JayZ are two sides of the same coin. The only way JayZ would ever snitch on Diddy is if the feds had him on tape incriminating himself. Gone Deal has claimed that JayZ is just as violent as Diddy. The difference is JayZ stays quiet and avoids raising eyebrows. The only reason Diddy got caught is because he was too loud, even going so far as to confess on live TV, practically admitting guilt.
Diddy always been the type of individual that want to have ups on the next person no matter what they was doing. He did the stuff to Ja Rule so he could go after JayZ. They not gonna come out and speak on nothing that has anything to do with them, and they praying that they not on the tape doing crazy stuff, being oiled up in the whole 9 yards. Until the feds say, "Hey, yo, listen here. Hey, buddy, we got you on this tape, and girl looked like she was pretty young. We're not gonna show it, but we need you to come and testify against Brother Love." That's when they're gonna start talking, and they're not gonna be talking in his favor. 250 cameras all over the house. Somebody got caught stealing a cookie out the cookie jar. When you that powerful, you didn't get that powerful without having 1 or 2 or maybe 3 ups on somebody.
That the people in power had gave that ring to Diddy, and Jay was next in line. So to separate him, when in fact they may be two of the same, but because JayZ is low key, that low key sneaky, and Diddy is and was rambunctious, just out with it. It don't mean that they not two of the same. One just a little quiet with his shit.
What happened at the basketball game? When they ran into, you guys ran into JayZ?
They were just talking. They was talking amongst each other about their little white girls. They little skinny white girls.
And I mean, did Diddy always say negative things about Jay around you?
The time he was trying to get Ja Rule to go at Jay, yeah.
Other sources who have worked with JayZ have echoed similar sentiments, including an interview on Piers Morgan and Censored with Jaguar Wright. Wright, JayZ's former backup dancer, accused both JayZ and Sean Diddy Combs of being monsters. She even claimed to have victims ready to testify against JayZ and Beyonce. Interestingly, it's been noted that those who have competed with or gone up against JayZ have a troubling habit of disappearing.
Like I said, Biggie died, Tupac died, and then there was the fight between who was the top rapper now, Nas and JayZ, and then the next thing you know, Nas has a nervous breakdown and he's taken out of the game, and it's all JayZ.
It's all JayZ.
All JayZ. And he was working with R. Kelly, and they were making so many records together. They made all of those records together. They both Aaliyah. They shared so much in common. And then there was a falling out. And that's like it never happened. Whoever talks about best of both worlds? Nobody talks about that.
Nobody.
Because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and JayZ are monsters. and the victim-making machine kept going on.
JayZ has been notable by his silence since these charges were brought against Diddy. Why do you think that is?
Because that's what he does. He starts little fires everywhere, forces everyone involved to go and carry water while he sneaks away without a response. That changes now, Sean. You must respond. You have no choice. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally and privately. Sean Carter. This has been a fist of tyranny that has been punching through our culture and our society for decades. It must stop.
Diddy and JayZ were reportedly in consistent contact even while Diddy was in jail. In fact, Diddy allegedly called his son, instructing him to reach out to JayZ. Leaked audio from the Metropolitan Detention Center surfaced, revealing Diddy calling anonymous numbers using credentials he reportedly purchased from other inmates.
Diddy's prison phone call just leaked and it was posted by Social Details. This is allegedly a call that he had, and there's a lot of talk, a lot of code words in there, so we're going to listen to it together. Check it out.
Do not entertain none of this nonsense and nothing over the phone. I'm going to need you to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes. The what? All the boxes left over.
Now, this alleged leaked call from Diddy in prison was talking about getting rid of pizza boxes. Now, if you know your stuff and you're privy, you know exactly what pizza stands for, and that's probably what they're talking about and referring to on this alleged leaked call. Pizza, for those who don't know, I'm gonna make it very clean. It has to do with children and selling.
Make sure you recycle the plastic like you talked about.
Now, in this alleged phone call, he starts talking about someone named Jay. People are speculating that may be JayZ, but there's no confirmation. At the same time, he talks about recycling plastic. I don't know what that could mean. If you guys have any idea, comment and let me know.
Everybody out there quiet as motherfucker. Yeah, exactly. We gonna let them have their little fun, but I'm still gonna have the last laugh.
I mean, it seems by the call that he's looking for help. He's saying that a lot of people are quiet, I guess people that are on his side, and that he's gonna have the last laugh at the end.
Man, just do what I told you to do, and don't forget about the list.
And then he goes on to say, don't forget about the list. And we don't know what that list is or what that implies, but this is pretty crazy. Do I think this is legitimate? There is no confirmation yet if this is legitimate or not, but this is the alleged leak call of Diddy.
JayZ wasn't Diddy's only accomplice. Diddy allegedly bought silence and was also connected to Mayor Eric Adams. Just weeks before Diddy was arrested, Mayor Adams presented him with the key to the city. However, after Diddy was incarcerated, Mayor Adams himself was arrested on corruption charges. Their involvement with each other is said to be how the feds eventually got to Diddy.
When I looked at that thing, to be honest, I thought that the people who was watching it, because you know at those hotels, they have security personnel that watch that stuff. And if they didn't call the police, they should be in jail. I don't care what nobody say. You know, whoever watched that tape and didn't submit that to the authorities, they should be brought up on charges.
Why do you think the video is barely coming out right now? Because you got a lot of people, you know, that's wondering why it took so long.
First of all, they know that Puff probably paid the security personnel because he knew it was on camera. When he made it to the hallway, when she made it to that phone, once that phone picked up, that's going straight to security. That's for emergency purposes only. So either the concierge or somebody that's handling emergency type situations when she picked up that phone. So now, Puff probably had somebody pay them off. 9 times out of 10, he had somebody pay them off, bruh.
Big breaking news tonight, and for the first time in the history of New York City, a sitting mayor has been indicted for crimes. ABC News reporting that Mayor Eric Adams has been indicted by a federal grand jury. We do not know yet the exact charges. Federal authorities have been investigating Adams and members of his staff, issuing subpoenas for documents and cell phones. Several members of administration have resigned, some of them also friends of Mayor Adams. Again, Eric Adams, the 110th mayor of New York, has been indicted by a federal grand jury. We'll have the latest online and tonight on Eyewitness News at 11.
JayZ and Beyonce are reportedly working together, and their marriage is said to have been a strategic business decision. Both knew that collaborating with Diddy would help propel their careers. The reason they were regulars at Diddy's infamous freak-off parties is that they were believed to be the real ringleaders behind it all. Through their alleged collusion with Diddy, JayZ and Beyonce built a billion-dollar empire.
Look, when Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those fucking trophies, those fucking trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at his career,
This guy. Wow. You're gonna let him say that?
Jay was getting Grammys.
He had one.
Exactly.
He had
And
one.
he ain't show up.
He had like 20 now.
Hold on.
He had like 18 since he's been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
Hold on. You're not wrong.
He was
At
one.
the same time.
After that, he got them shits. He started drinking. His pictures with him like, fuck the cop.
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
Absolutely, he's been treated differently.
The accolades.
Because he's no
marriage.
longer viewed as what, like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce's.
Oh, wow.
JayZ's career, you can look at that and say the association to Beyonce is when he started to receive the 16 Grammys since he's been with Beyonce. Right? And you go, prior to that, one.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that came in association, like you see the kids even have Grammys. Like they don't sing yet. They don't sing.
Right.
They don't rap yet. And they already have Grammys and shit. So it's like they give them this trophy so we secure that they're coming to the award show. It meant that much to the culture that they just gave them.
JayZ has reportedly distanced himself from Diddy, and he's not the only one. Diddy's lawyers, along with the law firm he had been with for the last 20 years, have both dropped him as a client. It's believed that JayZ is making these decisions behind the scenes, and even Diddy can't escape once JayZ sets his sights on him. In a letter, attorney Anthony Rico didn't provide specific reasons for his withdrawal, but mentioned that the true cause couldn't be disclosed due to attorney-client privilege. What kind of evidence did Rico come across that led him to give up on Diddy?
Sean Diddy Combs' legal team is getting a little smaller. As the rap mogul's defense team prepares for his May trial on sex trafficking charges, his attorney Anthony Rico respectfully but regrettably requested to be dismissed from his role, according to documents obtained by NBC News. Rico, who is one of 6 attorneys on the case, requested in the February 21st filing to withdraw as representation because, quote, under no circumstances can I continue to effectively serve as counsel for Sean Combs, consistent with the ABA standards for criminal justice. The motion continues, quote, while I'm aware that the local rule requires that an application for withdrawal of counsel is supported and granted only upon a showing by affidavit or otherwise of satisfactory reasons for withdrawal, there are sufficient reasons related to the protections afforded by the attorney-client privilege for brevity in my application for withdrawal as counsel in this case.
So the high-powered law firm of Grubman, Shire, Masalis, and Sachs has dropped Combs as a client. Now, this is the firm of Alan Grubman, who is a very prominent entertainment lawyer that represents some very big names. The Weeknd, Madonna, Chris Brown, Paul Simon, Usher, Bruce Springsteen. In fact, by the way, Alan Grubman was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He actually helped found that back in the 1980s. So, gives you an idea about how big of a powerhouse this firm is. Now let's go back to Sean Combs. So the rumor circulating is that this firm did this because singer and actress Lady Gaga had threatened to leave the firm unless they parted ways with Combs. This is according to reporting by News Nation. And it's a big deal because the rapper and producer had apparently been with Grubman's firm for over 20 years. He was friends with Alan Grubman by all accounts.